Welcome back to Crash Bandicoot Warped.
Crash is not going anywhere. Oh, there's the
I thought it
yo-yo.
was worth showing this idle animation again. Always a good time. Well, Crash really liked that motorcycle level from the last room, so why not do another one?
I have to respect their willingness to experiment with different genres.
So I mentioned before there was a trick to get an early boost. It's on the second red light. If you hit A, you get that extra boost of speed. In the original, there was also another timing where if your timing was really off, then Crash would just stand there burning his tires for a couple of seconds. Either Vicarious Visions changed the animation or changed the timing entirely, or they just forgot to put it in. I gotta be generous, I'd assume it's the former.
We might find it eventually.
I guess it's also worth mentioning that there is no real way to die during these sections. You either place it first or not. If you run into the cop cars, you just crash. And if you fall into a bottomless pit, then Aku Aku basically serves as your Lucky 2 and drags you out of the pit.
So you must finish the level once you're in it. You can't just die out of it.
Yeah, one way or another. I mean, if you're in time trial mode, then you could just restart the level from the pause menu, but that's not quite the same thing. And did I mention that the turning radius on this bike is terrible? It's actually improved from the original, believe it or not.
It doesn't look like it's actually possible to make some of those curves with that turning radius.
And I did mention last time that you get the crystal for winning first place. And I'm kind of, lagging a bit behind here. This is actually a separate run where I managed to get the clear gem. I lost the race, but I got the clear gem. And it let me keep it because I finished the race. Even though I didn't get the crystal.
Oh.
I did a second attempt after that to actually get the crystal. But I thought it was worth showing off anyway. Here's my successful attempt. Which was a surprisingly close finish.
Oh, wow, yeah. And they still hit you at the end.
Yeah, there's not a lot of rubber banding actually with the cars. I think they're meant to follow a set path mostly.
Pre-program one track. This isn't actually a racing game after all.
Let's go back to Aladdin World.
High time. Okay. Alright, I see what you did there.
And hey, it's a new type of lab assistant who throws something onto a pile that bursts into flame. This level is actually really cool in time trials, and I'm currently deciding which levels I'm going to show off throughout all three games for time trial stuff. I'm thinking this might be one of them. Lots of very precise jumps you have to make.
And you mentioned everything was on a global cycle in this game, so...
Yeah. Yeah, there's actually yet another very interesting wrinkle with the time trial system that has to do with the clock. But we won't be seeing that for a while yet. This section's a bit buggy because you're meant to jump down, but if you go onto to the other side of that pile of boxes, Crash doesn't seem to have enough vertical momentum to actually break them on the Sane Trilogy. It worked fine in the original game.
Really beautiful night level, too. I mean, I believe it looked dark on the PlayStation. Let's be honest here.
So this is one big testing ground for your double jump. Crash Bandicoot 4 doesn't... I mean, the bonus levels in that game, they do test your ability to use certain moves, but there aren't any unlockable moves in Crash 4. You have everything you need right from the start. With one very specific exception that I'll get to whenever I Let's Play Crash 4 in like 5 years. Oh, hey, look who it is. It's the pot monkey. You can instantly kill the pot monkey with a slide, or if you have the double jump and manage to jump on top of him, then that works as well.
Pot monkey, high time, yeah, it's all starting to come together.
I don't know. I think Naughty Dog prefers sex jokes over weed jokes. There's a few very specific examples coming up later in the game.
I do love the hanging sections.
Oh god, yeah. Oh wait, I already talked about the hanging sections of Wrath of Cortex, which are truly horrific. I can't remember if I mentioned it before, but when you're invincible, you move considerably faster when you're hanging like that compared to how it is originally. Anyway, we know the deal with this. The iron checkpoint crates in some of the death routes are meant to remedy that, or to not remedy it, to get around that exploit of death warping, but it's not always there. I completely forgot about that animation.
Knocking the monkey off the top of the building.
Yeah. So I guess I should talk about how the double jump works. You can slide into a double jump, and of course when you're standing still you can double jump as well. The way that it works is that you can only double jump up to the apex of Crash's jump. As soon as he starts descending, as soon as he starts falling, you can't double jump anymore, which is something that Crash Bandicoot 4 changed, and one of the best changes to the controls. You can double jump at pretty much any time in Crash's jump. You also, in Crash 3, you cannot body slam when you use a double jump. It's only after a single jump.
That's kind of interesting limitations, not the way that I would expect a double jump to work in a game like this.
Yeah, it works pretty well. And it's also the forward momentum decreases significantly when you use the double jump. But I think that's pretty standard in other platformers.
That's really just to get enough height to clear some obstacles.
Oh yes, this level is special. We got introduced to yet another mount.
Well, you've crashed a few parties before, but I never expected you to make it this far. If you don't turn back, I will inflict 1,000 years of suffering on you and the entire universe.
Oh, so it was Uka Uka who was responsible for having Vivendi keep the Crash license and then eventually have it sold off to Activision, where he remained in hell for the better part of 15 years.
Working behind the scenes.
Anyway, here's a new enemy. It's called the Bandifish.
Is that a fish that looks like Crash?
That's exactly what it is, yeah. It even has a spin attack. and it knocks you back if you get caught in the spin attack, and otherwise it'll grab you, so, you know, send a crash to beat a crash, I guess.
I thought the enemy designs were ridiculous before. I was wrong.
There's quite a few good ones later on. We're gonna wait. Don't take this path now. We'll see what that's about later in this video. For now, you want to move forward. And, what's that mysterious egg?
Oh, please be a Yoshi. Oh, thank you.
This is Baby T. Yet another mount for Crash. Unfortunately, he only appears in 2 levels, and this is one of them. But it's pretty cool. He can kill anything, and well, I mean, Crash kill anything in one hit as well, but he moves faster than Crash does, and of course, much like the submergible from the underwater levels, he will take 1 hit for Crash and then run off. Although, if you lose Baby T at any point, there are a couple of respawn points scattered throughout this section. So anyway, we are going to backtrack over to that yellow gem path. And you want to do it specifically in this order to make things a little easier on you.
Clearly, Baby T cannot step on lava.
No, he cannot. You can walk through grass without slowing down. That's pretty cool. So we will be visiting the yellow path again in a later video because it actually has one of the secret level entrances. But that's not this video.
That fish is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a shame he only appears in this level, but it's still pretty great. Yeah, as you might be able to tell, the Super Body Slam can only... Or no, the Super Body Slam is the only thing that can destroy these crates. Though, amazingly, it is not the most useless power-up that Crash gets. It is in this game, but in Wrath of Cortex, as a replacement for the Super Body Slam, Crash gets the ability to tiptoe on nitro crates, which is far more useless than it sounds, because there's only like 1 section in the entire game where you need to use it.
That seems like a solution to a problem that they didn't actually have, yeah.
Anyway, we've already passed the secret level entrance, but again, we won't be using that in this video. So we could go back here. However, we double jump over here. There's a couple of lives back here.
And no way to get over that other wall.
Not in the Sane Trilogy, no. In the original, you could using an extended glitch jump, but there was no geometry back there. You eventually fall through the map. And this is why I stopped breaking boxes to backtrack here, because this is where the yellow gem platform drops you off.
Aha! Hey, secret area.
And this is a secret area to teach you about using the Super Body Slam. As if you needed teaching on that.
Got it already. We get our education on the street here.
So one interesting thing, at least, about the Super Body Slam is that it increases the area of effect on the Body Slam compared to the other one. So, for example, if I had used the regular Body Slam, I mean, I wouldn't be able to break those boxes, but also I would not have been able to break all 3 at the same time, because there's like an extra shock wave. Break those boxes before you hit the checkpoint. You don't want to have to keep going back when you die.
I do love the Triceratops chase.
Yeah. In this level, as well as with the polar bear and boulder levels from the last game, if you miss these boxes, they will break. Or the boulder slash polar bear slash Triceratops will break them for you. You just won't get the rewards.
So they count, but you don't get what's in them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I think there's usually 1 or 2 boxes that are specifically placed so that, you know, the obstacle won't break them. And then you got situations like that. That one iron crate from Crash 2 in one of the boulder levels. I can't remember which one it is. But it's the one where you have to use the speed pads, the boost pads, to make sure you had enough time.
Yeah, I remember the level. I don't remember the name, but I remember the level.
Anyway, time to fight Entropy.
You little vermin are way too stupid to understand what you're getting yourselves into. This time, you've done it! Now you're on my time, you little skunk! Give me the crystals!
So, Crash, when he's fighting Entropy, this is very pattern-based. Like, this is straight out of the first game. And then when Entropy gets tired, he creates these platforms here.
So it's the old school floor puzzle.
Yeah. And it is partially randomized. And this is something that wasn't in the original. You're meant to duck under the blue orbs, but in the original they were all colored the same, which means that you learned that you had to move differently with that orb after it touched you and you died, essentially.
Very retro, very original game, yeah.
And it is entirely possible with some specific timing to jump over to the platform that Entropy is on very early, and you just sit there until he becomes vulnerable.
My time is up, but yours soon will be too.
And by defeating Entropy, we get the Death Tornado Spin. This allows you to mash the spin button to have one really big spin. We'll see it later in the next video.
Oh yeah, he's got a little bit of that classic PlayStation texture and
Give me the crystals!
How did I only just realize now that his weapon is a tuning fork?
oh my god, it is.
I've played this game for the better part of 20 years and I never noticed that until just now. And as you can see, the pattern here is different. That's not a difference between the original and Sane Trilogy. It's for each phase, there's a couple of different platform sequences that it can go through. Although the one consistent thing is that the center tile will always disappear on the third phase of the fight. Like you'll see here, it's fine because we're on phase 2, but the platforms that appear on phase 3, the middle one will always disappear, just to make sure you're paying attention. And in fact, one of the easy ways to get over to Entropy's platform there is when replaying the fight to use the Death Tornado Spin.
I think it's hilarious that the bosses give you what you need to cheese the bosses.
You know, I never thought of it that way, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
But yours soon will be too.
And that's it for this video. The Death Tornado Spin is really cool. I can't wait to show it off in the next video.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Superpowered Crash, go!
Yeah, and you can combine it with the double jump to cross really big distances.
Oh,
unfortunately, the Death Tornado Spin doesn't really reappear in most of the other Crash games, and that's because, well, it's been almost 3 games now, and I haven't mentioned it, but there is actually a cooldown on Crash's spin attack. It's entirely invisible, but if you do mash, eventually Crash will get tired and he won't be able to spin anymore. And I think the Death Tornado Spin was created to sort of serve as a workaround for that.
Okay, so it's a little overpowered. It's a little game-breaking.
Well, it's intentional. As you'll see later, there are some very specific and very intentional shortcuts that you could do with the Death Tornado Spin.
But you need to have it to do them.
Yeah, exactly. It's really useful in time trial.
Gotcha.